The recent Wakanda Forever trailer has given us a more in-depth look at what we can expect from the future of Wakanda and the royalty of the family therein. From a closer look at the antagonist of the film of Namor to a glimpse at the next Black Panther, there is a lot to dissect within the new footage that can offer insight into the future of this famed nation. The closing seconds seem to showcase the heir to the mantle of the Black Panther, and while it hasn't been outright confirmed, it appears as though Shuri will in fact inherit the role of Wakanda's most powerful protector and principal monarch. Her time in the comics has likewise shown her in the role of the Black Panther as well, and while we will not see T'Challa's iteration in the next project, there are a few interesting differences to note regarding the two respective iterations of the Black Panther. So stick with us today, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, and let's discuss some of the differences between T'Challa's Black Panther and Shuri's time in the vibranium suit, to see what we might expect and be able to expect from her power-wise in the role that is now truly hers. Perhaps the most jarring disparity between the siblings is how they utilize their intellects, and while T'Challa is certainly intelligent and is a gifted tactician and strategist, Shuri is on a whole other level of scientific and technological prowess. The siblings, despite both being intelligent, oftentimes use different outlets for their intellect. T'Challa focuses his mind on being a respectable leader and formulating incredibly complex battlefield tactics that enhance his already formidable physical and political capabilities. He has learned pressure points of various alien life forms to enhance his ability to fight them all, as he studied several languages to aid in his diplomacy, using negotiation and discussion to further his goals of diplomacy. He resorts to physical violence when necessary, but oftentimes opts for diplomacy whenever he can, though he is unafraid to fall back on his physical power and is always prepared for a hand-to-hand engagement. In a hand-to-hand fight, his body is his greatest weapon, and the suit is merely an asset that aids him in his fight. Shuri, however, is a far more technologically suited for any conflict, using various gadgets and weaponry that oftentimes only she understands to the full intricacy and how to use them properly, which we've already seen several times in the MCU to date. Despite not having a suit of her own, she has used various weapons and gadgets against not only Killmonger, but was also able to hold her own in the battle for Earth despite being a normal human. Shuri stood against Thanos and his alien forces, which came from all across the galaxy, without a Black Panther suit of her own to do so, and without the aid of the heart-shaped herb. Her limited screen time has shown her as a direct rival to Bruce Banner in terms of her intelligence, specifically in regards to vision and his composition. What's important to note here is that Bruce Banner and Tony worked together to craft both Ultron and bring Vision to life in tandem, yet neither of them found the flaw that took Shuri only a matter of minutes to call out, indicating that she noticed a problem that even Tony Stark did not catch. Many of Shuri's gadgets are specifically designed to combat certain enemies, especially if she has the preparation necessary to assist her threats and formulate her own solutions. This could even include comic-based artifacts that could be useful against Namor specifically when he resurfaces in November. One such armament in the comics is known as the Desert Sun, which is a series of specifically designed flashbang devices that not only emit blinding lights, but can also sap bodily hydration. Namor is not only incredibly durable, but his exposure to the depths of the ocean have enhanced his senses, including his sight and his hearing. Seeing as they are already incredibly sensitive, crafting a device that could exploit this supposed strength and twist it into a weakness would showcase how Shuri's approach to superheroism differs from that of her brother. On top of this, her exposure to the heart-shaped herb grants her the same physical enhancements of her late brother. Although she has not yet been given the powers of Black Panther in the MCU, in the comics she has been exposed to the heart-shaped herb, and many of the same benefits that her brother received, as did she and her father before them. She is amongst the most athletic acrobats on Earth in the comics, which augments her choice of fighting style, which is largely acrobatic and swift rather than relying on brute force like her brother often did. She is a gifted combatant trained by the best fighters in Wakanda to protect her kingdom, and has a sense that has surpassed even that of T'Challa, being able to sense her surroundings even better than her brother was. But the heart-shaped herb also imparted upon Shuri abilities that it did not with T'Challa. In some iterations of Black Panther, she is able to see the infrared and ultraviolet spectrums of light, picking up on invisible radiation that regular humans cannot detect. This allows her to continue seeing even in incredibly dark environments and navigate multiple scenarios where she would not be able to reasonably function effectively. Her other senses are likewise heightened to a point that could even rival that of Daredevil with proper training and thorough practice. Her auditory prowess allows her to hear stimuli from miles around, and her sense of smell is second to none, barring that of, again, Matt Murdock's Daredevil. She can identify individual ingredients in food and detect poisons, as well as permanently remember the smell of virtually anyone that she meets, allowing her to identify them through disguises and crowds. She is a gifted tracker and hunter, utilizing the stealth capabilities of the Black Panther moniker incredibly well. The brief glimpse that we saw in her suit at the end of this trailer seems to showcase more technological augmentation than the original iteration of the Black Panther vibranium suit. Both T'Chaka's suit and T'Challa's first Black Panther suit seem to be relatively analog despite the technology that Wakanda had available to them. While they were bulletproof, durable, and worked very well, they were likewise bulky and designed to fit the styles of each respective user. But Shuri made undeniable technological upgrades and leaps upon T'Challa's return to Wakanda. T'Challa's second suit was visibly far more flexible and had multiple combat upgrades, including utilizing Wakandan nanotechnology in order to conceal the Black Panther suits that both T'Challa and Killmonger used, as well as harness kinetic energy for users that had to adapt to her technology. If she is able to do this for others, then imagine what she can do for herself, tailoring a suit to her specific needs and tastes, which could allow her to operate at a far more effective level, using her favorite gadgets and weapons by implementing them directly into the Black Panther armor. While each of the siblings are incredibly formidable in their own rights, they have different approaches to combat that each serve their own respective style and philosophy of conflict resolution, feeding their strengths and allowing them to grow into the most powerful Black Panther that they each can. In Wakanda Forever with Shuri, we should all expect a Black Panther that fights much differently than T'Challa did, being far more acrobatics just as Shuri was in the comics, as well as a technologically way advanced suit even above the final Black Panther suit that T'Challa used. There is also indication in the trailer that Shuri will likely use multiple Black Panther suits over the course of the film, and the final Black Panther suit that we see in the trailer is likely the final iteration in Wakanda Forever, and has many unforeseen upgrades that we will have to break down once Wakanda Forever releases this November. But anyway, my friends, what do you think of Shuri taking up the mantle of Black Panther? And how do you think her Black Panther will differ from that of T'Challa? And what advantages do you think will work in her favor that T'Challa did not have? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and have a great day.